What's going on, Canes fans? Welcome to episode number 7 of Walking and Venting with Coop. Just in case you're new here, this series is exactly what it sounds like. It's me walking along the edge of my property while we vent about a hot, debatable, controversial, sometimes, most of the time, negative topic when it comes to the Miami Hurricanes. And the weather here is quite fitting today. It's overcast, it's chilly, it's dreary, just kind of a depressing feeling atmosphere out here. And in today's episode, I'm going to go ahead and warn you that if you can't deal with, raw, real honesty, then you might want to skip this one. Just letting you know. But for those of you that can have adult conversations in the comment section, let's talk about it, because I'm really looking forward to it. I actually really am. So you saw the title, right? The truth about Miami Hurricanes football that you don't want to hear. But boy, oh boy, are we going to talk about it today. And what I'm going to do is just be very blunt right here in the opening. And then we'll get into the details throughout this video. So let me just go ahead and address it right out of the gate. And I'm just going to say it, and then you're just going to have to give me a few minutes to explain and talk about it. This Miami Hurricanes football team is average. And right now I'd have to say average at best. We're halfway through the season, so there's still more ball that needs to be played to really know fully what this team is. But this team is average at best, and TVD is just an okay quarterback. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. This team is average at best right now. The wild thing is, when you go to social media, you look on Twitter and the forums and all over the place. Right now, everything is, I've given up on this team. I'm done with Mario Cristobal. Fire Shannon Dawson, forget Guidry, let's start all over again. We're going to have to rebuild this thing from the ground up. And look, I understand the frustration, okay? But starting from scratch is not the solution. And, doing that over and over and over again is not sustainable. It's part of the reason we are where we are right now. It actually is, if you think about it. The thing is, fans need to stop making excuses, but there's also fans that need to have some perspective. And what I mean by that is the harsh reality is it's year 2 for Mario Cristobal with a new offensive coordinator and new defensive coordinator in this second year. When I go back and look at my full season prediction, I had us at 4-2 at this point in the season. We are now 4-2. Now, I can't say that I had all the wins and losses right, because I had a loss to Texas A&M and a loss to North Carolina. It was instead a loss to Georgia Tech and a loss to North Carolina. But this is where I expected this team to be. Like, it actually is. And I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, I'm still allowed to be upset, because nobody knows, how it's actually going to go down. So, losing to Georgia Tech, yeah, that's going to piss me off. Some of the things I saw last night, yeah, I'm definitely very upset about. You don't know how those losses are actually going to happen. But I had us at 4-2, and that's exactly where we sit. And the reality is, this Miami team is working on taking a step this year. Not a leap, a step. And when I say a step, a small step forward. There are some good things that we've seen. There are. The team last year wouldn't have beat A&M. The team last year would have lost by 4+ touchdowns probably to this pretty complete North Carolina team. Matt Brown has a good squad. He does. But with all that being said, Coop's not trying to tell you guys to not complain, because fans have every right to complain. We've sucked for more or less going on 20+ years now, and there have been some little spurts and things like that, but never consistent, which is super frustrating, right? You know I don't play fan police. If you want to call for Mario's head, if you want to complain, do it. If the team's not up to your expectations, complain about it. But just let me remind you once again that if you only go off of your fan expectations, you're going to be disappointed pretty often, especially as a Miami fan, just being real. Make sure that you keep those realistic expectations in the back of your mind, and that way you can revisit those when things start to crumble a little bit, and you can say, okay, I knew this is probably what was going to happen. I'm definitely upset. But you don't just completely implode, right? And let it ruin your Sunday. You know, after this, I'm going to a birthday dinner with my mom. It's my birthday tomorrow. You know what? I'm going to upload this venting, and then I'm going to go enjoy my birthday dinner. It is what it is. But I am mad. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. Let's talk about Tyler Van Dyke for a moment. Because people were getting real upset with me in the live stream. Coop, you don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? We've seen Tyler step up. We've seen the 2021 Tyler. He beat Texas A&M. What are you talking about? I never trash our players, bro. Never, ever, ever will I trash our players. I want everybody rocking the orange and green to succeed at every level. But I am telling you right now that Tyler Van Dyke does not have that it factor. Tyler Van Dyke is not a baller. Tyler Van Dyke is not a game changer. And if you want to argue at some times that he has been, then my counter argument is still that he hasn't done it consistently. And we have to stop making excuses. I understand 3 years, 3 offensive coordinators. Well, okay. Well, I mean, if that's messed him up mentally or whatever it may be, then I guess we have to make a change. I guess you do at that point then. If the argument is, well, Coop, last night Tyler said that he tore 3 ligaments in his finger or in his hand during the off season, so cut him some slack. Well, if that's the case, if he's playing injured, if it is affecting his game, then I guess we're going to have to make a change. Yo, when I looked on the sideline, right, during the broadcast of the North Carolina game, Drake May was over there patting his offensive lineman on the shoulders. He was being vocal. He was lifting guys up. It pans over to Tyler Van Dyke, and what's he doing? He's chilling on the bench with a blank stare on his face. Now, just being all hype and talk and stuff doesn't make you a great quarterback. I'm not saying that. But this is a personal thing for Coop. This is my personal opinion. I feel like the quarterback has to be the leader if you want your team to be super successful. If you look at these great teams, all these teams that are playing really well, and it doesn't just apply to this year, it applies to all the time, they are almost always led by a really good quarterback. And not one that also just shows it with his stats. He's also on the sideline hyping up his guys. When everybody's in the huddle and they're trying to figure out how in the world they're going to come back because they're down 14 and there's 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, everyone's looking at him. All eyes are on the quarterback. And it's not all on Tyler. I've told you guys that. Stop putting words in my mouth and stop assuming things. Stop only listening to part of what I'm saying. It's not all on Tyler. Football is a team sport. It takes everybody. Players and coaches also. Let's not leave coaches out of this. But most great teams have a great quarterback, and a consistent quarterback at that. Tyler Van Dyke has shown flashes, but at the end of the day, he's just an okay quarterback. Period. That's it. And I do think it hurts the team that he's not very vocal and he's not viewed as a leader on the team. I do think I was on Coach Hayes' YouTube takeover week of Texas A&M. And the topic got brought up of Tyler Van Dyke, being known as kind of the quiet guy. Anytime anyone talks about Tyler, he's calm, cool, collected, he's level-headed, and a lot of people view it as a positive, and there are some positives, right? The previous play doesn't get you down. He throws a pick, and he's calm. But I got blasted because I posed a question. And I said, do you think Tyler Van Dyke being kind of the quiet one and not the big vocal leader hurts this team sometimes? And instantly people started firing back. And instantly the live chat said, Coop, what are you talking about? And I think we are seeing it once again. The quarterback plays such a big part, and I think he must be the leader. I'm not saying he has to always be this super rah-rah upbeat guy, but I'd like to see a little bit of emotion. I'd like to see after the second or third interception, maybe him slamming his helmet on the bench and looking pissed off on the sidelines. You know, it'd be a nice change. But the problem is, you can't make somebody that they're not. And Tyler Van Dyke is not that guy. He's not. He's not that type of guy. We've known that, and he's always been very upfront about it. I don't know what the solution is. Jakari, I still don't necessarily have full trust in him because I think there's still some accuracy issues there. Emery is still a young guy, so you're obviously taking a chance with him, and you definitely create some trust issues, especially, let's say you throw Emery in against Clemson. If he struggles, because Clemson is still pretty good, people are downplaying them a bit. They have a lot of talent. Then again, you've lost TVD and Emery. Here comes the QB hokey pokey once again. We've seen this play out before. I've read this book. I've seen this movie. I know how it ends. We've done it. So I don't know what the solution is, but I'm just saying that I do think it hurts the team. And I don't think this team can be great. This team can't take it to the next level with Tyler Van Dyke. Does that make sense? This is not an ACC championship winning team or a college football playoff team with Tyler Van Dyke. And again, it goes much deeper than just him. But it is a big part. It is. And bro, what's up with Dawson? Can we talk about it? What's up with this run game that doesn't really seem that creative at all? Is it just me? Am I blind? What happened to tight end U? Because our tight ends have 5 total catches in 6 games. Tight end U, my booty. What are we talking about? I thought that it was maybe just guys not getting separation, but you're telling me we have no other looks throughout the game? Is it Dawson's play calling, or is it Tyler Van Dyke only throwing to a handful of guys, a.k.a. Restrepo and occasionally Jacoby George or Colby Young? And it's 90% of the time it's Restrepo. And I love Restrepo. Man, he's a solid wide receiver. But, bro, we got to spread the ball around a little bit, because then what happens is guys start doubling Restrepo, and that's still the only way, the only place Tyler Van Dyke looks. And I'm telling you, back to TVD, man, I think that he struggles to read a defense. And I also think some of it is on coaching, because our game day coaching is kind of bad. Our clock management is bad. There was a penalty we declined in the North Carolina game that was kind of questionable. Our adjustments are not good, man. And other teams have figured us out. I talked about this the other day. Other teams have figured out what we're doing on offense and defense, and we're getting exposed on game days. Straight up. And I've noticed that defenses have realized, they can really mess with TVD big time, right? You come out, you show one look, you change it up a little bit, move some guys around. Tyler Van Dyke looks lost. Oh my gosh, now the sun just came out of nowhere, bro. What just happened? Sheesh. And he just looks freaking lost, man. He's a one-read QB, and I don't think there's any coming back from it, bro. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think there is. But anyways, what else did I want to harp on today? I'll be honest, I'm also tired of the what-ifs that I'm seeing from people this season. And the arguments. Well, Coop, if Miami had won the Georgia Tech game, they would have played better against North Carolina. Stop making excuses. Coop, well, if we would have kneeled down, then the Miami's mental game would be better. Stop making excuses. I've seen plenty of teams overcome adversity, and when bad things happen, they punch back. I need to see consistency. That's what's killing Coop right now. Where is the consistency? Well, Coop, in the North Carolina game, technically, we would have only lost by X amount, or, if we wouldn't have fumbled basically in the end zone or at the 1 inch line, then the game would have turned out completely different. We don't know that. We can assume that maybe, right? Because that would be good that Miami maybe would have held onto the ball and scored there. But it's the argument. I brought this up the other day too. Have you guys ever seen in cartoons when they time travel and somebody accidentally steps on a bug and it changes the entire future of everything? So let's say in the North Carolina game we didn't fumble there early and we take a lead. Who's to say that North Carolina doesn't come out actually and play even harder in the second half, and instead of losing by 10, we lose by 14 or 17? We don't know. Now, we have to assume and we have to say that we want, good things to happen to Miami, because that's still, we have a little more hope because that was a good thing happening and not a bad thing. I get that. But it's a bunch of what ifs. At the end of the day, what matters is, did you win or did you lose? And Miami lost. And Miami has now lost 2 ACC games. Mario, in a season and a half, has won 9 total games. And the only one that can even be labeled as a maybe decent win is A&M. Bro, Miami's terrible at night. Miami's terrible in the ACC. There's still no consistency yet. But let's back up and revisit the first topic that we talked about. We have to have some perspective, and we have to separate our 20 years of sucking and expectations and fan predictions, and then we have to look at the realistic predictions. The reality of completely tearing things down and rebuilding. The reality of a second-year head coach here. The reality of Mario Cristobal's history of being a poor game day coach, but excellent recruiter. New OC, new DC, a quarterback who's been up and down and super inconsistent. And some teams do get lucky and have instant success in today's times. I will not argue against that. There are teams that, get guys out of the transfer portal. They hire a big-time OC or DC, and they win 9, 10, 11 games. It happens. But Miami isn't lucky enough to have that instant success. We just aren't. It's just not been the case, and right now we can't change that. It is what it is. Either way, I'm ride or die Miami. I would go down with the ship if it was going down. Sometimes I wonder why, but I would and I will. I'm not saying that people have to be patient or should be patient, because it's not up to me to say that. I know that it's frustrating. I know that I'm still mad, even though this is about where I thought we would be. Still sucks. If you're a fan, it sucks, period. Stop trying to tell people, if you're complaining, you're not a fan. If you can't move on, you're not a fan. If you're not always positive, you're not a fan. If you're only negative, you're not a fan. Stop it. It sucks for all Miami fans if Miami is losing, period. It doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on or what type of fan you are. Losing sucks, period. Stop it. I get it. The people that have been waiting, that have been putting money into the program, that have been supporting through the bad times. I get them being mad and saying, I'm done with waiting. I get the people that say, let's move on because the team needs to move on. I want to be positive. There's still some things to look forward to this season. I get it. But just know in the back of your mind that Coop believes this is an average team, and that's what I expected them to be this season, but I was hoping to be pleasantly surprised. This team is average. It's going to take more time, even though us Miami fans are tired of waiting. It's the reality. It is the reality, and I can't guarantee that when I say it's going to take more time, that it will be good at the end, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where we are 3 to 5 years from now. I have no idea. I don't know what this team will look like. Nobody does. So I can't promise anything at the end. But I do know that it would take more time. Miami would need more top 10, top 5 recruiting classes. We would need some more consistency and stability. But there is a big red flag there, because in today's times, if you're not winning, there's no way we can sustain the high-level recruiting. I don't care who you bring in. Jason Taylor. I don't care, if Mario's Mr. Master Recruiter. If we keep dropping games and we're inconsistent, we won't maintain the high-level recruiting. We won't. It won't last much longer, I promise you. And the thing is, we just have to see where this thing goes. Right now, I don't know. And I'm just a couch coach and a YouTuber. So obviously I have no answers. All I can do is just give my opinions on stuff. And I just have to hope and pray that Mario and the team can prove my 7-5 wrong this year, but it's not looking like it will be the case. And I wish we had a vocal, baller quarterback, but we don't right now. And that's just the truth. It is. We want the 2001 team. We want to be great again. I don't think Miami will ever be that. And it's not saying that Miami won't ever compete for conference championships or national championships, but college football has changed. It's very tough to be dominant. There's the transfer portal. There's guys when you don't win that you're hoping to develop that hit the portal because you're not winning now. There's NIL. It's tough, man. It's tough. And unfortunately for Miami fans, we're not lucky enough to be blessed with instant success at any point. And it's going to be a grind. And it's just where we're at. And it's frustrating. Remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I gotta say, it's still always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all on the next one.